Marvel Rivals just released their new Fantastic Four character designs and they look amazing. To their new redesigned suits, to their new hairstyles, and to giving them amazing proportions, they are perfect in every way. And I just want to talk about how Marvel Rivals designs are so amazing and sometimes even surpass their MCU counterparts with some of these superhero suits, and sometimes even surpass the original comic book suits. Like if we look at the new Mr. Fantastic design compared to the one we got in the Multiverse of Madness, and also compare it to the new Mr. Fantastic movie design that we have already seen for this new movie, this suit blows them out of the water. From the cool looking hairstyle, to giving him a nice aged beard, and to giving him one of the best Mr. Fantastic suits of all time. Like this Marvel Rivals Mr. Fantastic suit is definitely over designed, much like how the MCU suits tend to be, but for Mr. Fantastic, this suit being over designed fits perfectly with this character and the rest of the Fantastic Four, because Mr. Fantastic is a genius and would have definitely made a very advanced suit and added so much technology to any suit he would have created for him and the rest of the Fantastic Four. While if we look at all the past suits Mr. Fantastic has got in the movies, they all look boring in comparison to this Marvel Rivals version, and that also goes for the rest of the Fantastic Four. All of them look so amazing in this game, while if we look at the movie versions, they are kind of very boring, or they're too one note. And some of the members in the Fantastic Four have some of their best designs yet, from perfectly giving this Human Torch all of his aura and looking so cool like how we always should, and to also looking at Invisible Woman's design where everyone is currently going crazy over online. And I also love how the Thing looks in this game. His proportions is amazing and I can't wait to see him in game because he looks huge, he looks monstrous, and that's how the Thing should look like. He should look like a giant hulking being. He should be able to rival Hulk. And I just wanted to take a look at some other costumes besides the Fantastic Four in Marvel Rivals that look so much better than the MCU suits they have, and sometimes even better than the comic suits. And I also want to look at some of the suits that they definitely didn't do justice. First off, if we're going to talk about superhero suits, we gotta talk about Marvel's most iconic hero, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's redesign in Marvel Rivals is pretty interesting for me. For me, this suit is kind of a hit or miss. One day I like the suit and the other day I think it's just whatever. I do think it's a little over designed and I'm not a big fan of him having sneakers, but I do love the black lines on his suits, especially when he has the symbiote team up. Which, on a side note, Venom's design in this game is amazing. They nailed everything about his design and make him look completely comic accurate to his hulking figure, and to the symbiote moving all around in game looks so amazing. And I do think Venom is one of the best designed characters in this game because of how accurate he looks from the comics. But going back to Spider-Man, I do think this Spider-Man design feels heavily inspired by the PS4 suits, and if you like that suit, you'll probably like this one. The only thing different from this suit is that instead of having a white Spider-Man symbol, it's black instead. But I know not everyone is a big fan of this suit, and I can't wait until we get an OG Spider-Man suit skin in this game, or give us any of the movie suits. Preferably, I'd like to see Tobey Maguire's suits and his black symbiote suits, because those suits look so amazing. However, even though this Spider-Man suit's weakness is being over-designed, Moon Knight's suit definitely benefits from being over-designed. Like looking at the suit, it's perfect in every way, and in my opinion is the best Moon Knight suit design of all time. And the reason I believe that is because it perfectly leans into both the Batman inspiration of Moon Knight by having all these gadgets and having like the belts, and to also leaning into the god powers he gets from Khonshu, the moon god, with his glowing eyes and his glowing chest symbol. They really cook with this design in every aspect, and not to mention his voice lines are so good in this game. He's definitely on the top of the list as one of the best designed characters in this game, and I do think a lot of characters benefit from this over-designed aspect in Marvel Rivals, as well as they benefit from the art style of Marvel Rivals. Just to name a few that benefit off of these two things are characters like Hela, who looks so badass in this game and truly looks like a true goddess of death, and she's also very broken in this game, like a true goddess of death would be. And Loki also looks so amazing in this game. I love his little fur around his neck. I think he looks so cool in this game as well. And to round out the Odin trilogy, I also think Thor looks amazing in this game as well, which I know people might think that's kind of controversial because people think this Thor is too big compared to the MCU one that everyone knows. But the difference between the MCU Thor and this Thor is that they're both going for a different look. This Marvel Rivals version has more of a Norse mythology type of look by giving a more beefier and more stronger version of Thor, and and also giving him more of an experienced look by giving him a beard, making him look like Odin's true successor and son. But MCU's Thor design is also no doubt amazing, giving him more of a traditional god-like physique, which looks so good when it comes to live action. But unlike Thor, the rest of MCU's big three in Marvel Rivals, consisting of Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, didn't get an amazing design like Thor did. Like, this Iron Man design is pretty bad. I don't like anything about this suit, maybe because it's just too clean looking, which sucks because Iron Man is known for having such cool suits, and this version doesn't do him justice compared to the classic Iron Man suit we all see in the MCU, which might be the best Iron Man suit ever made, especially the damaged look we see in Iron Man 1. And I do wish that we get this Iron Man suit in Marvel Rivals because this is my favorite Iron Man suit. The only other suit that competes with it for me is the Superior Iron Man suit and the suitcase suit we see in Iron Man 2. But at least we do have the Superior Iron Man suit in the game, which makes up for everything because this suit is amazing and, like I said, is top 3 of my favorite suits for Iron Man. But unfortunately, my favorite superhero out of MCU's big 3, Captain America, his suit flat out sucks, and he doesn't even have good alternative skins to make up for having such a bad OG skin, which is a travesty because how can you mess up so bad with a Captain America suit? Like, they miss in every possible way with his design. Like, why does this Captain America have jeans with an armor chest plate and a hologram shield? Like, I know this is supposed to be a future Captain America, but we've seen better future Captain Americas in the comics, in animated stuff, and this does not compare to all the other versions. And I do hope we get a better skin for Captain America in the future soon, because this isn't my Captain America. But I do hope that we get a better skin for Captain America, because I'd love to see an OG Captain America suit, or maybe an MCU Winter Soldier suit, or maybe even his Infinity War suit, because that is a pretty cool suit. Because this version of Captain America looks pretty bad and looks like a bad cosplay version of him, which just sucks because if we look at one of his main villains, the Winter Soldier's design, this design is amazing and is one of my favorite designs for Winter Soldiers ever made. Like, the mask looks so cool with the scar on his eye, and not to mention his drip is unmatched. I don't know what Hydra did to him in this universe, but along with giving him PTSD and giving him all this trauma, they also taught him how to make the craziest fit. They taught him how to wear a crop sleeveless jacket with cargo pants, with combat boots, and having a bulletproof vest underneath it. Like, this fit is undeniably so tough. They definitely did not mess with his character design, unlike Captain America. And even if we expand beyond the MCU's big 3, the rest of the Avengers all have pretty tough designs. Like, Hawkeye has never looked so cool, which is crazy because this is a Hawkeye we're talking about, one of the less liked Avengers, but he has never looked so cool in this game. He looks like an actual menace, and he also plays like an absolute menace in this game. And his OG skin in this game also looks so amazing and is also one of my favorite skins in Marvel Rivals. I also think Black Widow looks so amazing in this game, but Black Widow always looks amazing in any version of the media she's in. Scarlet Witch also looks fantastic in this game, like one of my favorite Scarlet Witch designs ever. I love everything about it, and I think it fits perfectly for what they're going for. And finally, the Hulk is just Hulk. But even though I've been glazing some of these suits, I do want to talk about some of their misses, because when it comes to Marvel Rivals, even though they have a lot of great designs, like Magic's goth aesthetic and Psylocke's amazing design being heavily inspired by Peach Momoko's Demon Days design, which I'm a Peach Momoko glazer, so they copied one of the GOAT's designs, so I can't complain. But Marvel Rivals misses still exist, and some of these designs hurt pretty bad because they did it to some of my favorite characters in all of Marvel, and they did them pretty dirty. Like, they did my GOAT's Magneto so dirty in this game. Like, why does he look like this? He has no aura, which is pretty crazy because Magneto is literally him. Like, Magneto's original design is already perfect. They did not need to mess with it or change it in any way, and making him this over designed definitely hurts how Magneto should look like. There's so much stuff that just doesn't work with this design. And even if we look at his quote-unquote OG suit in this game, it also looks weird because of how bulky he looks. And plus, I'm not a big fan of the crown they gave him behind his head. I just don't think it fits with Magneto's design. I think him having his helmet is all he needs when it comes to his head area. And not to mention, if we're talking about gameplay when it comes to Magneto, he doesn't even play too much like Magneto. Like, I should be able to move people around, should be able to pull people away if they have metal on them, and so much more because Magneto isn't a mega level threat. But instead, he just shoots metal in this game and just, throws a giant metal ball, which is pretty sad because Magneto is my GOAT, and I feel like you could have done so much more with him in this game. But by far, the worst design character, in my opinion, in this game is Doctor Strange. Just nothing works here with Doctor Strange. It's just too much all over the place. All these belts they gave him and all these extra lines they gave on his suit just isn't it. And this is coming for someone whose main is Doctor Doctor Strange. I main Doctor Strange. I have a lot of hours on Doctor Strange. So I have to look at this character every day until I eventually got the God Strange skin. So I do not like this design. I think it's just way too much over designed with this character, and is the main character I say is over designed. But overall, I think Marvel Rivals has a lot more hits when it comes to their character designs than misses. But I could have named a lot more great designs in this game, like Namor's design and Star-Lord's design. But they're a little too close to the comic version, so I didn't think there's too much to talk about them. And there's obviously controversial ones that I didn't really touch on because I don't have a strong opinion on them. Like, some people really don't like Wolverine's design and Iron Fist design, but the main reason why people would think these characters' designs are so weird is because they are very different from what most people's perception of these characters are, since this is a more casual Wolverine look with his jackets and not really having an X-Men suit on. And this is a completely different Iron Fist character than what most people are known with when it comes to Danny Rand. But I would love to know your guys' favorite Marvel Rivals design down in the comments down below, and also let me know what Marvel Rivals skins are you not too big of a fan of. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because 99% of the people who watch me aren't subscribed. So don't be that 99%, be that 1%. I hope to see you guys next time. Later, hater. Peace.
If that's not the way to go.